The iPhone C4 is coming, and we just got some brand new leaks showing that it's going to be much better than we anticipated. So in this video, we're going to talk about the new leaks, the information that we already know along with some of the features that we're going to get on the updated phone, and the price tag, and the release date. So a lot of stuff coming up here. Now the iPhone SE lineup has been kind of boring, at least the last few iterations at first. It was okay, but recently it's just so far behind with the design that is 5, 6, 7 years old now. And a camera from the iPhone 8 that it just doesn't make sense for most people. Because of that, a lot of people are excited for a newer, refreshed SE that will actually be a reasonable phone for 2023-24. This kind of era that we are in, even though the current one has an A15 processor in it. So it's very powerful. When you take a look at the battery life, it is terrible. Even with the iPhone 12 having about 30 battery remaining. And the same thing with the 13 mini compared to the SSE, and the camera quality, like I mentioned, is the same compared to 2021, which even the Pixel 4a absolutely destroyed well. That is going to change because the SE will finally be a good phone again. Now, we had some rumors in the past that are coming to light more. So now that the iPhone SE will finally be ditching that old tiny LCD screen for an OLED that's coming in at 6.1 inches, and that is basically the same size as the iPhone 14. This could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your perspective. You guys can comment down on below. But a lot of people that were buying iPhone Cs are those that were using lower price Android phones, and they wanted to get into the Apple ecosystem without spending a lot of money, but being 2023. Now, most of them do not want to buy something that is so outdated. And of course, with the other issues that I brought up now as far as size, if we put these two side by side, the difference isn't massive as far as footprint. But the 14 is wider, and it is a lot thicker as well. This is one reason why some people still buy an iPhone SE, because it's so thin and lightweight. And personally, I think they've been great if they just used the iPhone 12 or 13 minis frame and made that the SE, because that would still give you a nice balance of size. And looking at that battery chat that I showed off, well, the battery life on the 13 mini was actually quite good, similar to the iPhone 12. And of course, with the newer processor, that would get even better. But nope, it looks like we're going to have the same flat-sided design on the new SE4 as the iPhone 14. And with Apple's market research, most people are going to want something that's a little bit larger. But thankfully, there are going to be some other updates. One thing we saw is that the SE4 is likely going to be the first phone that is using Apple's in-house 5G modem. And this was mentioned by Qualcomm's CEO themselves for 2024. Now that means it's going to cost Apple less money to create it, instead of having to buy it from Qualcomm, and we might actually get some better efficiency as well. And with the SE3, Apple actually bumped up the price tag to make up for the 5G that they added into it now. As far as the processor, I would expect Apple to be using the A16, or maybe even the A17 in there, because typically when they update the SC, they put in the latest processor, and that makes the longevity of these devices very good. And it also helps with battery life being such a thin and light device now. As far as the cameras, we are still going to have a single lens camera on the back, just like all the other SC. So even though we're going to have this kind of a modern shape, it'll have a single camera. But the good thing is, it's going to be much, much better than the C3. If you guys see the difference in camera size there, it is massive. Now, I expect the C4 to have a 12 megapixel camera in it. It will not go up to the 48, like we're going to see with the newer iPhone. So you are going to be behind, but it will still be a nice improvement. Now we know that the iPhone 15 is going to be getting rid of the notch from the 14 and getting the dynamic island, which is going to be sweet. But because of that, Apple is going to be able to put the notch into the iPhone SE 4, so it's going to be a generation behind. Now we have more info from this latest leak, saying that it is going to be featuring an action button, just like the new iPhone, so it's going to get similar across the lineup. And this is one thing that we're not expecting on the EC4, and another way that it is going to be getting better with that. It is also going to be getting USB Type-C, so it's going to make it match up with the rest of the lineup. It's going to be universal. Now, I expected to still have slow transfer speeds on this budget device, but it is nice that it is getting that. And we also have info that different manufacturers are actually bidding right now to make those OLED displays. So that's the last big update, OLED instead of LCD. Now what is going to happen to the price tag for a while? We had the SE at $399, then it bumped up, well, personally, I think that it's going to bump up to $499. And that's going to be one reason why they're using the iPhone 14 style design instead of the Apple XR design that was leaked for a while. Just because they want to refresh it and be able to make some more money from the device, with inflation with Apple trying to make more money as less iPhones are selling, that's going to help them out. And I think that with a more modern design that's much better, with much better battery life, it's going to be a phone at $500 that is going to tempt a lot of Android users to switch over and have a good enough device to do that instead of wanting to stick with Android. Now, the only negative is we've gotten some updates on the release date, and I really hope this is wrong because it doesn't seem to make sense to me, but that the device has been delayed until 2025. Now, the reason why I say it doesn't make sense is because we had the iPhone SE 2 in 2020. Then in 2022, we had the SE 3, and 2024 springtime would match up perfectly. And then by that time, the iPhones were upgraded, have been upgraded to the iPhone 15 lineup. And that's going to give Apple a much better device to see earlier on instead of waiting for later, and especially if companies are already bidding on the display to manufacture it. It just makes sense to be a year and a half out. You guys let me know your thoughts. Is that a phone that you would want to buy and to use, or would you prefer them to use the mini body? Like, I would thank you guys for watching. Click that circle about to subscribe. Check out one of those great videos right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe Tech Trove YouTube channel for more new exciting videos.